Oh. ॐ गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणम् ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजन वल्लभाय स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय स्वाहा ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्धसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम जय राधे शरणं मम ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम ॐ जय राधे शरणं मम ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम ॐ जय राधे शरणं मम ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः offering all our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies illumine our intellects. May we not hate or contradict each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. On this auspicious day of Sri Krishna Janmashtami and also the birthday of Adi Shakti Mahamaya, Yogamaya, who is nothing to do with the Lakshmi of Mahavishnu or Vishnu sleeping on a snake coil. This is the Adi Shakti that is responsible for the beautiful creation, and the Mahamaya whose influence cannot be even conquered or to be taken over by any of the greatest of the yogis or even avatars. It's like asking the sunlight, hey, please shine without your light. How can sun exist without his light? And where is light without sun? So whenever we think about this, what Yogamaya that is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita by by Sri Krishna himself, The Sri Krishna talking there was not the Sri Krishna that we think who he is. He is the Adi Purusha Sri Krishna. Therefore, the context of the word Krishna referred to in the Vedas, like for example in Samavedam, there is this mantra that we chant in Narayana Upanishad. In that it is said that his name is referred to as Krishna. What is that mantra? प्रत्यगानन्दं परमपुरुषं ब्रह्मस्वरूपम् अकार उकार इति अनेकधा समभरत्तदेतदोमिति यमुक्त्वा मुच्यते योगी जन्म संसारबन्धनात् ॐ नमो नारायणायेति मन्त्रो वासकः वैकुण्ठलोकं गमिष्यति. That mantra, it says, Pundarikam Vijnanaghanam Tasmat Tadidavan Matram Brahmanyo Devaki Putro Brahmanyo Madhusudanaha. All this mantra will describe this aspect of the incarnation of Sri Krishna. The mantra existed before Sri Krishna existed, as the name and the form. The mantra existed before Sri Krishna existed. Because of the declaration in the mantra, only the avatar will come. If it is not declared in the Vedas, God will not come. Because all the manifestation of the divinity is codified by the Veda mantras. Therefore, Vedas actually have declared what it is going to be, how it is going to be, how the divine consciousness is expressed. And the mother in Devi Mahatyam herself states her own avatars that are going to come. In the Swarochisha Manvantara, when Swarochisha Manvantara happened during the time of Devi Mahatmyam with Suratha and Sumedha and the Vaishya Samadhi, at that time she declares her avatars. In the 12th chapter of Devi Mahatmyam, that these are my forthcoming avatars. Nanda Gopa Gruhe Jata Yashoda Garbha Sambhava. She declares who she is going to be as the avatars. Nanda, Shakti, Bhima, Raktadantika, Brahmari, the 6 avatars that she is going to take forth. And as part of that, she is also manifested along with the avatar of Sri Krishna at the same time as Yogamaya in the womb of Mother Yashoda. She was born a little before he was born. She was born in Kritika Nakshatram, the star Kritika. He was born in Rohini Nakshatram. So exactly the same Tithi, but different stars. Kritika Nakshatra for her. And then Kritika represents the aspect about fire, wisdom. And then as I wrote in the Veda study today morning, posted on the WhatsApp group Veda study, when you understand all of this, there is a beauty that every time there is divine manifestation, whenever there is sun, there has to be light. Light goes without saying along with the lamp or with the sun. Similarly, Shakti is the light of the supreme consciousness, and that Shakti is none other than manifestation as the Surya, the Shakti aspect of it. And therefore, this this is pratyaksha pramanam, direct evidence. There can be no light without the sun. There can be no sun without the light. There, this is very simple. Uh, and in order to recognize the sun, you need the light of the sun to see him. Where is the light coming to see the sun? From the sun himself. How do we apply that in our real lives? You cannot connect to the Creator without seeing him in the creation. So creation is an automatic manifestation of the Creator. They go hand in hand together. In fact, the entire creation is the reflection in the Creator. Okay, this is too deep. I won't go into that early in the morning. We are all here to learn some mantras and be happy ever after. अग्निश्च जातवेदाश्च सहोजा अजिरा प्रभुः वैश्वानरो नर्यापाश्च पङ्क्तिराधाश्च सप्तमः विसर्पेवाष्टमोऽग्नीनाम् एतेष्टौ वसवः क्षिता इति यथर्त्वेवाग्नेरर्चिर्वर्णविशेषाः नीलार्चिश्च पीतका आर्चिश्चेति अथवा योरेकादश पुरुषस्यैकादश श्रीकस्याम् अथवा योरेकादश पुरुषस्यैकादश स्त्रीकस्य प्रभ्राजमाना व्यवदाताः याश्च वासुकि वैद्युताः रजताः परुषा श्यामाः कपिला अतिलोहिताः ऊर्ध्वा अवपतन्ताश्च वैद्युत इत्येकादश नैनौ वैद्युतो हिनस्ति य एवं वेद सहोवाच सहोवाच व्यासः पाराशर्यः विद्युद्वधमेवाहं मृत्युमयीच्छमिति न त्वकामगुं हन्ति य एवं वेद. This beautiful mantra, 35th mantra, after invoking all the 11 Vaidyutas, the Ekadasha Vayus, it concludes with the most supreme teaching. And the most supreme teaching of that is enables the expansion of this limited I. The only way that happens is with this ultimate strike. And the ultimate strike in Sanskritam, if you call it ultimate strike, ultimate is para, strike is Shakti. Ultimate strike is para Shakti. That is para Sharya. Sharya is the arrow or the strike. Ultimate strike is Parashara. Parashara. When that ultimate strike happens, the Parashara, then immediate expansion happens. That expansion, if you want to call it a word, in Sanskritam, is Vyasa. So that experience of ultimate strike that leads to expansion of the finite to the infinite, that is Vidyudvadham. Vidyutvadham. Complete annihilation happens by this Vidyut, the strike of this lightning bolt. And then the most incredible death happens. And when that is happening, there will be fear. Ah, Khalil Gibran says, when the river is flowing from originating all the way as few droplets in the mountain, like in a Himalaya, and this Gangotri, Yamunotri, when you go to Gangotri, you literally see few drops trickling. Ah, you come to Badrinath, Alakananda. My God, you just saw the videos recently how the Alakananda has taken away with a cloud burst. Oh, totally destruction. You cannot be even in the way of that Alakananda. And that Alakananda, when it comes to Rudraprayaga, becomes a Bhagirathi. When she comes down to Haridwar, becomes Ganges. And from that Ganges, she flows and flows and flows all the way to the ocean. And when she's flowing and she's coming all the way to the edge, Khalil Gibran says, and when the river is coming to the edge and she is about to fall into this ocean that is infinite, infinite, she looks back and she says, oh my God, how many thousands of miles I have traveled so far, going through towns and deserts and forests and all these places. Now I am going to lose my identity. I am no longer going to be Ganga. I am going to be this infinite ocean. At that point, fear comes. At that point, fear comes. You will be afraid because the whole life is all about identity. Whole life, entire thing that you have built around you is around your identity, your name, your form, your belongings. Everything is identity. Then you need fearlessness. Then you need to lose the desire. And when you walk away from it, you have remained finite. When you lost that fear, you will live forever. Because a river can dry up and a ocean can never. Natva kamagum hanti. To akamagum nahanti. You will never be destroyed. You will live forever. You will live forever. Even living in the body, you live forever. You are no longer the body to live, therefore you live forever. This is the ultimate strike. Yeah, evam veda. This is the only thing to be realized. Evam veda. I know people have some questions about all of this. We'll deal with it after the class for those who are true seekers and want to inquire. This is exactly the story of every avatar. आदौ देवकी देवी गर्भजननम गोपी गृहे वर्धनम मायापूतन जीवितापहरणम गोवर्धनोद्धारणम कंसच्छेदन कौरवादिहननम कुन्ती सुतापालनम ये तद्भागवतं पुराणकथितं कृष्णलीलामृतम् कृष्णलील अमृतम् कृष्णलीला अमृतम्. This Krishna Leela is never dying. That is what it is saying. This is called Ekashloki Bhagavatam. The entire story of Sri Krishna told in one shloka. Ayya, why am I going through all this? What is this to do with Aruna Prashna? You don't understand that whether it is Aruna Prashna or whatever you are studying, in the total awareness and the presence of the mind to something, everything will automatically fit in that awareness. We are talking about immortality and the death. What is death and immortality? Death is what comes to an end. Immortality is that which never ends. And therefore, if this Krishna leela is amrutam, this Krishna leela is immortal. How is Krishna leela immortal? Krishna was born in a prison and was exchanged, grew up in the I'm translating the shloka that I chanted. Krishna was born in a prison to Devaki Devi. Then he went to the house of a gopi, which is Gopika, which is Yashoda. Then he killed Maya Putana. The Putana's life was sucked out. Maya Putana Jivitapaharanam. Govardhanodharanam. Lifted this Govardhana mountain on his little finger. Kamsa Chedana. Destroyed Kamsa. Kauravadi Hanana. Destroyed all the Kauravas. Kunti Sutta Palanam. Took care of sons of Kunti. Etad Bhagavatam. This is Bhagavatam. Purana Kathitam. Described in Puranas. Sri Krishna Leela Amrutam. This Leela of Sri Krishna that you heard is immortal. Arey, you have to ask this question immediately. That is what this body does and mind does. I asked Bhagavan, Arey Swami, this shloka says Krishna Leela is Amrutam. How can Krishna Leela be immortal? That means it has to be constantly happening. If it is not constantly happening, this Leela of Krishna, how can it be immortal? Krishna lived 5,000 years ago. And all this story is about a king that he lived, not even a king, a one that who lived as a very nice cowboy and danced with damsels and did all this stuff. How is that story immortal? How is that story immortal? If you are listening very carefully, you will connect to this. Therefore, Bhagavan said, see, Bangaru, the infinite is born in the prison of your body. And therefore, the birth of Krishna in a prison means the infinite became finite. He is reborn within you, within your own cage, the body as a cage. But then you have to let him out. You have to let this finite Krishna imprisoned, let him out. In order for him to get out, you need the supreme grace of Mahamaya. That he is bound inside you itself, that thought itself is Maya. Therefore, you will get out of that prison. And then when you get out of that prison, you will be raised by your indriyas. You know what is the meaning of the word Gopika? Gopika or Gopa means, Go means indriyas. Gopika means the one who only listens to Krishna, sees Krishna, speaks Krishna, breathes Krishna, thinks Krishna, lives Krishna, loves Krishna. That is the definition of Gopika. So your indriyas become Gopika. And you will be raised by these Gopikas. That means the indriyas will begin to see this Krishna who is let out everywhere. Then this thing will come called Maya that wants to delude you, etc. And then he sucks the life out of her from you. Means what? You will not be affected by Maya. You will not be deluded by Maya. In the context of you will become aware of Maya. Then he will lift your awareness like he lifted this mountain with this little finger, Govardhanodharanam. When this Maya awareness is there and your infinite awareness rises, Then there is this thing called Kamsa, the eye, Kaurava, the mine. The eye and the mine are destroyed. Then what remains are the five only with you. And the five are Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. They are the Kunti Sutas. And he will now make sure that the human values is what you live by. And you have become infinite Krishna. And you have become immortal in this leela of Krishna that is happening all the time in everybody, not 5,000 years ago. Adada, avalada. That's it. For today, this is enough in the class, no? What is the point? Now, see, brothers and sisters, we are all thinking these classes and these practices are some impositions and these quizzes, etc. This exact, after this class that happened last Sunday, you go read the thought for the days posted in Prashanti Nilayam. On Wednesday, when we did the practice, on Wednesday morning, we were talking about the question, who are you? 4 hours later in Puttaparthi Prashanti Nilayam, the thought for the day posted is exactly the question, who are you? So who is present in these classes? It is his promise that he will present in every time you'd have a study circle. Every time his presence is there. We think these practice sessions are for us. It is imposition. But the moment you recognize these practice sessions and these classes are where Bhagavan is present in totality and he is listening, he is resounding, he is reflecting, you will come for love for him, not for you to practice. You will come for love for him, which is to be enlightened and illumined by this Hridakashe Sadabhantam Shantamanandarupinam Jnana Bhanumaham Vande Sadgurum Satyasainam. It is to be constantly in the presence of the Sai Krishna. You go to a bhajan, you go to a study circle, you go to a seva, you go to a Veda class. You do all this only to feel his presence consistently, constantly throughout everything that you do. That's how you become a Gopika. And then what do I do? Yesterday, sorry, little bit distraction. A 6-year-old who turned just 6 years asked me, what does it mean that I have to see his forms, say his name and all of this stuff? How can I do my regular work, Tata? Then I said, the Gopika said, whatever they called out, hey, Sai Rama, come here. Sai Rama, do this. Sai Rama, please take care of this. Sai Rama, who are you seeing? Who are you talking? What are you saying? Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama. There is no other addressing. There is no individual called. Sai Rama, come here. Sai Ram, please sit here. Sai Ram, please don't do this. Sai Ram, please take this. That is what is to become a Gopika. ನರಜನ್ಮ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾಳಿದ್ದು ಇರುವಾಗ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎನಬಾರದೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎಂದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟಮು ಒಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎನಬಾರದೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎನಬಾರದೆ ಸಾಯಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎನಬಾರದೆ. This is what Purandara says. Arey, you got this human birth. Narajanma bandaga. You got this human birth. Nalige iruvaga. It is going to exist only till tomorrow. Krishna enabarade. Why can't you say Krishna, Krishna? Why can't you say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna while taking bath? Krishna, Krishna while eating. Krishna, Krishna before sleeping. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama. Okay. Vijjudvadhamevaham mrityumaichhamiti. Then what will happen? At one point of time, as you beat this boulder with hit after hit after hit after hit, one fine day it will break. And suddenly, this unleashing of this incredible, infinite, expansive consciousness happens. And then that is how you use the name of the God to beat this boulder and break it so that you become infinite. Until then, you are in this boulder, insentient being made of mud called body. Jai Sai Ram. Vijjudvadhamevaham mrityumaichhamiti natva kamagum hanti ya evam veda. That's the aspect of what happened. Time gone. Om Sri Sai Ram. Half an hour. Okay. Then in the next set of mantras, Aruna Prashna starts laying out this thing, this particular names of what are called Gandharvas. Gandharvas. Let's learn the mantra. By the way, they finished that up till 34 mantra already in practice. So I have to keep moving the mantra, otherwise the Wednesday guys will have problem. They're going super fast. Okay, first Atha Gandharva Ganah.
अथ गन्धर्वगणाः
Swanabhrat.
स्वानभ्राट्
Angharir Bambharihi.
अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः
Hastas Suhastaha.
हस्तः सुहस्तः
Krishanur Vishwavastuhu.
कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः
Murdhanvan Varchah.
मूर्धन्वान् सूर्यवर्चाः
Krutirityekadasha Gandharvaganaha.
कृतिरेकादश गन्धर्वगणाः
Okay, Kruti. Okay. Krutirityekadasha, not Kruti Ekadasha.
कृ-
Krutirityeka. Now, I was confused because usually you are the right one. So I have to correct myself after you. But okay, Krutirityekadasha Gandharva Ganah.
कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः
Yes, that is the mantra. Ekadasha Gandharva Ganah. Ekadasha Gandharva Ganah. The group of 11 Gandharvas are listed here. And we'll just learn the mantras and then go to the meaning of it. अथ गन्धर्वगणाः
अथ गन्धर्वगणाः अथ गन्धर्वगणाः
स्वानभ्राट्
स्वानभ्राट् स्वानभ्राट्
अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः
अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः
हस्तः सुहस्ताः
हस्तः सुहस्तः
सुहस्तः I made a mistake. हस्तः सुहस्तः
हस्तः सुहस्तः हस्तः सुहस्तः
कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः
कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः
मूर्धन्वांसु ऊर्यवर्चाः
मूर्धन्वान्सु ऊर्यवर्चाः मूर्धन्वान्सु ऊर्यवर्चाः
कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः
कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः
ओके अथ गन्धर्वगणाः स्माद्भराट् अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः हस्तः कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः मूर्धन्वान्सु ऊर्यवर्चाः कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः
अथ गन्धर्वगणाः स्वानभ्राट् अङ्घारिर्बम्भारिः हस्तः सुहस्तः कृशानुर्विश्वावसुः मूर्धन्वान्सु ऊर्यवर्चाः कृतिरित्येकादश गन्धर्वगणाः.
So the padas are very simple. Atha Gandharvaganah, self-explanatory. And what are those? Swan, you can count. Abharat, Angharihi, Bambharihi, Hastaha, Suhastaha, Krushanuhu, Vishwavasuhu, Murdhanva, Suryavarcha, Kriti. These are the 11. And therefore, these are described as iti ekadasha gandharva gana. These are the 11 gandharva ganas. I can finish. Meaning is over. It's over, no? That is how they teach. Finished. These are the gandharva ganas. Next, move to the next mantra. Devascha Mahadevah.
देवाश्च महादेवाः
Rashmayascha Deva Garagiraha.
रश्मयश्च देवा गरगिरः
Nainang Garohinasti.
नैनं गरोहिणस्ति
Ya evam Veda.
य एवं वेद
देवाश्च महादेवाः
देवाश्च महादेवाः देवाश्च महादेवाः
रश्मयश्च देवागरगिरः
रश्मयश्च देवा गरगिरः रश्मयश्च देवा गरगिरः
नैनं गरोहिणस्ति
नैनं गरोहिणस्ति नैनं गरोहिणस्ति
य एवं वेद
य एवं वेद य एवं वेद.
You see, what happens is when you just learn the mantra and then leave it like that. It is the very first step that's called knowing. Then you have to get clarity of the intellect. The intellect has to get in. Knowing is about the mind. The intellect has to get in. Then the knowing becomes with the clarity of the intellect, understanding. Understanding. You stand underneath and then you look at it. How Bhagavan describes very beautifully about a study circle. He describes the study circle to that of a prism, to that of a what we call as not prism. See in I don't know how to describe this. We used to have these paperweights in India, and they will have this different triangles, and it will look very beautifully. It's like then you look at through each of those triangles. Uh, the world will look very very different, and it would be very beautiful picture. But when you go to the bottom of that paperweight and look from the bottom and through all the triangles, then you will get an incredible perspective of the world. This is exactly what a study circle does. Attending study circle is one of the most important sadhanas in life. Never ever assume that you know anything. When 15 people, 10 people come together and look at something from different perspectives, but you go to the bottom of it, which is Bhagavan's perspective, then you will see all the perspectives equally shining through the teaching. That is what true Veda study is. Then you go underneath it and you begin to understand. And that understanding, that understanding leads to what is called awareness, which is expansive, expansion of that individual perspective through understanding, through a global perspective. You will have a vision, and you are equivalent to a rishi. Rishirihadir Ghashruttamaha. Rishihi iha dirghashruttamaha. The one who is able to listen, understand, become aware with the depth and sustained depth and understanding. Then you are called dirghashruttamaha. Then you become a rishi. That is the previous mantra. So Gandharva. What does the word Gandharva mean? We are clear about we are clear about at least Agni, Vayu, etc. Who is this Gandharvas then? Huh? What is this aspect about Gandharva? These Gandharvas are celestial beings that are described not just in not only in Vedas, of course. Vedas is the bottom line of all the scriptures. Therefore, there are Buddhist scriptures, Jain mythology, and other mythologies that are derivatives of Sanatana Dharma. These celestial beings, Gandharvas, are described. Simply put, they are divine musicians, singers, dancers, painters, sculptors, all this beautiful aspect of the expression of the divinity through music, through art, through painting, through sculpture. It's incredible. When you are grounded in this divine consciousness, all those things automatically come to you. You don't even have to go look for learning them. Of course, please don't take this seriously. People suddenly think now I am a Gandharva, I can sing whatever I want. That would be a problem. First, you have to have that divine awareness, 100% grounded in that. Through that, expression happens. expression as music, expression as dance, expression as painting, as sculpture, all the different art forms, 64 different types of art forms. Chetushashti Kala, 64 different types of expressions of the divinity happen. So these Gandharvas express the divinity through music, through art, and all of that stuff. And therefore, you will hear about these Gandharvas mentioned in the text related to Rigveda, Atharveda, also in Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc. And in fact, the word Gandha Arva is has two different meanings. First meaning is Gandha means a fragrance. Arva means irresistible, irresistible fragrance. Gandharva means those that have irresistible fragrance. The moment you come into their presence, there will be an irresistible attraction towards them. Array, something, there is something is emanating. You learning music is one thing different than music expressing towards you. You chanting mantra is different from mantra chanting you. If you understand this, this is a greatest thing. There, those through who, those that become instruments for the music to express through them, they are called Gandharvas. And therefore, you will hear some names. And of course, this Veda class doesn't exclude any relative reality. A singer like S. Janaki, who never learnt music. S. Janaki never learnt formally music. A singer like S.P. Balasubramaniam, who never learnt formally any music. Then what happens through them? How did they become such incredible singers? Because they are Gandharvas. Music uses them as instruments. They don't need to go chase music. These are Gandharvas are like that. But these Gandharvas do not use their talent to impress others. These Gandharvas, that is the difference between the worldly Gandharvas and the celestial Gandharvas. The worldly Gandharvas use their talent to earn money. But the actual Gandharvas sitting in Puttaparthi Prashanti Nilayam, who never learnt any music, but they exist only to express the love of their music for Bhagavan and Bhagavan only. Nobody else, nothing else. But in doing that, there is utmost perfection in offering. You'll be amazed. I mean, it's astonishing, not to take some names up here, but when you listen to some of the Gandharvas sitting in Puttaparthi Prashanti Nilayam, and because Bhagavan knows that, he will not give opportunity for MS Subbalakshmi to sing a bhajan for him. Bhajans only students have to sing. Rest of the programs they can come and give. But when it is bhajan time, it is only dedicated to the Gandharvas who are there to offer their love unconditionally for Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I am talking to you very relatively, this is not philosophy. You have to get this point. So whatever talent this body used to sing movie songs when it was young, the moment it came to Bhagavan, it stopped all of that stuff. There is absolutely no interest. It's only to sing the name of God. It is only to invoke that incredible presence of God. Then music will choose. Music comes and says, hey, I want to use you to sing this bhajan. Can I do this today? Don't get intimidated by all of this. Yeah, it will happen. That is what is called a state of Gopika. It's the state of a Radha. It's an incredible name. What Radha means is an incredible thing. There is no supreme Maha mantra other than Radha. The name of Radha is even more powerful than Krishna. This is not what I am saying. This is what the scriptures say. Radha is a where Radhe. When you address it is Radhe. When you say it is Radha. Swami has explained about that. So now Radha is a oh, if I get into Radha, I won't continue the class. Okay, so Gandharva means Gandha, Arva means this irresistible fragrance that reflects the ethereal and the captivating nature of their presence. So there are Gandharvas and there are Gandharvis, of course, like there are Rudras, there are Rudranis. Somebody asked the question, how come there are two? Now they will understand. There is Rudra, there is Rudrani. Bhavaya Devaya Namaha, Bhavasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Sarvaya Devaya Namaha, Sarvasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Similarly, Gandharvas, Gandharvis. Who are some of these Gandharvis? Some of these Gandharvis are the Rambha, the Urvasi, the Menaka. They're celestial dancers. And of course, movies, especially Telugu movies, have completely corrupted their divine presence and expression. So much so corrupted that they think Ravana is a great hero, that Satyabhama is a very, horrible wife of Krishna, and she's like a Gayali. All this is created by the movies. And Krishna dancing with Radha, Krishna was hardly 7, 8 years old. By the time he turned 10, he left Gokulam and he went to Mathura. So Krishna dancing with Rasa Leela is nothing to do with the stupidity that movies have projected and human minds have corrupted. It's a platonic. It's a surreal. It is Shuddha Sattva. There is no physical aspect involved at all. Like a Mother Meera, a Radha. These are Gopikas. And these Gandharvas. Some of the names of these Gandharvas mention are which probably you all know. There is Chitraratha. Not yet. Some of these Gandharvas, Chitraratha, Pushpadanta, Tumburu, Vishwavasu. What is this year's name? Vishwavasu. Vishwavasu is the name of a Gandharva. What does this Vishwavasu do? The Vishwavasu protects a girl until she gets married. There are four divine forces that protect a girl. Because the girl goes through so much of emotional disturbances and imbalances. And therefore, her body and her mind are protected from all these imbalances by Chandra, by Agni, by Vishwavasu. Those are the three that are protectors. And then the last one is Agni. Therefore, when a girl gets married, it is done along with fire. Agni Sakshiga Vivahamatam, with Agni as the witness. And therefore, the fourth protector becomes the husband, taking the responsibility for the girl from Agni and seeking the permission of Agni. Now you may transfer responsibility to him. And therefore, the girl in the marriage, she does this Laja Homam, where the first Homam is done to the Agni. After getting married is to Agni. And for that, the girl's brother will come and put this puffed rice in her hand. If you understand all of this, your marriage doesn't become a stupid cultural event. It will become an incredible celebration of the glory of the divine. My heart hurts when I go to marriages. I really don't want to go to marriages anymore. Because it's a 2.5 hour cultural affair. Nobody pays attention to what is going on, including the Purohit. The Purohit himself will be saying, take pictures, stand here, do this, do that. Anyway, where did I get Vishwavasu? Vishwavasu is a Gandharva. His name is mentioned in these 11 names. Vishwavasu's name is mentioned. There is another great one called Pushpadanta. Incredible story. He composed one of the most famous invocations of Bhagavan Shiva. It's called Shiva Mahimna Stotram, which is a phenomenal devotional, philosophical, ethereal composition on Bhagavan Shiva. And there is a story behind that. I won't go into that. So therefore, Tumburu is another one. Tumburu is a celestial being that is supposed to be even more supreme a singer than Narada. And you will see stories in Puranas about rivalry between Tumburu and Narada. Tumburu has a horse face. See, knowing Puranas is helpful because it helps you connect to these mantras in a point of view that expands your understanding. So, the exact form of these Gandharvas, they also vary depending upon context. Sometimes they appear bird-like, sometimes they appear like Tumburu I was mentioning as a horse face. And that symbolizes their connection with the mother nature. Because art is nothing but connection with the mother nature. Every tune that a musician is producing is already present in the mother nature. Every art, every paint, every sculpture, all of them are born in this mother nature. So they are incredible connections to the mother nature. They are also very easy to access. I won't get into that part of it. People will now start becoming Gandharvas and they start singing in the center thinking that they're all Gandharvas. That would be a disaster. So who are these Gandharvas that are mentioned? Please bring up the names. So Gandha, I said irresistible as the name of one of the thing, but Arva also means the basis of that aroma. Through them this is expressed. So who are these Gandharvas mentioned here? Swan. Swan. Swan is a in, uh, interesting word present also in English as swan. Swan means the Hamsa, the inner being. Now I will give the symbolic interpretation that is getting expressed through this mind. This may or may not be 100% accurate. It's only my own, this body's, this mind's connection to it. You may have your own connections in a different way. That is also correct. There is no need to validate that. Because your perception is your reality. How do you know that is true or not? Only Swami will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. And that inner being that guides you is called Swan. Abhrat. Abhrat means actually relative meaning, literal meaning is somebody like a brother. So that which is you are connected to in relative existence. The first one is that which you are connected to as individual existence. The second one is connected to in relative existence. Anghari, Bambhari. Does anyone know where these two names you heard?
Yeah. Mahani.
Woo, man, super duper. Very impressed. Immediately people jumped and said, Mahanyasam. Next question is what?
षोडशाङ्गरौद्रीकरणम्.
Wow, without question he answered. Okay. Next question is what?
What other What does it mean, maybe?
No, you said Nyasam,
Yes.
Shodashanga Raudrikaranam. What's the next following question,
Ear.
Swati?
It is related to the eardrum.
Baji, super. In the Raudrikaranam, the specific Nyasam is on the ears. Wow. Anghari, Bambhari are the two related to the audibility energies. Angharir Bambharihi Hastassu Hastaha. So, where is this thing required for audibility, this audible perception? Huh? Music. Music requires incredible audible perception, incredible audibility. Especially when you have to sing in scale and shruti and hitting those notes perfectly. And that audibility, the shruti, without that shruti, if you cannot hear the shruti to the exact frequency of that shruti, it will be disaster. Huh? It will be a disaster. Earphone call. You have to grow hair on your ears like Bhagavan so that it gets filtered out. Anghari, Bambhari, related to this musical talent of incredible audibility. Audibility. Hasta, hand. Suhasta, skilled hands. Where do you use hands? Hello?
Sculpture and painting.
Sculpture and painting. Good. Hasta, Suhasta. Those that are painters, those that are incredible painters. Expression of painting comes through them. They don't try to paint. Krushanu. Krusha. Krushanu implies, I don't know the exact meaning of this, somewhere related to a smallest, darkest one. Kurushanu means getting to the subtler aspect of the art. The expression of the art comes. Some paintings are very obvious. Some paintings have a subtle hidden message in them. Not many people will be able to perceive in that painting what is the painter actually conveying. And to go to that embedded subtlety in the art form, Krushanu, Vishwa Vasu, that is the name of this year. Vishwa Vasu, the universal prosperity. Vasua Sabda always means nourishment, sustainability. Vishwa Vasu means that the one who sustains the universe. And that sustaining the universe also is related to, now I mentioned that the girl will be protected. Where is the universe emerging in the context of a worldly context? From a girl only. Without the female, where there is Jagat, there is no world. So therefore, protection and sustenance of the womb of a girl is what is the fundamental function of Vishwavasu, and therefore he is also protecting the womb of the entire universe. And the one who protects the entire universe, Vishwavasu, is Bhagavan Surya himself, Murdhanvan, the one who is having a crowned head. That is related to what is called leadership. Leadership is also a skill. Just like painting is a skill, art is a skill, leadership is a skill. Not everybody can be a leader. That is a skill, that is an art that is expressed. That is more dhanvan. Surya Varchas. That is, Surya Varchas means the one who has a radiance and splendorous radiance of that of Surya. And how that is related to our inner thing? There are some people that are naturally radiant. There are some people, when you see them, you lose radiance. That is the Rakshasas. They are called Asura. Sura, Asura. These two names doesn't they don't actually the literal meaning of them, the inner meaning of them. Sura means through whom light radiates. Asura means through whom light does not radiate. That's the simplest. Sura means through whom light radiates. Asura means through whom light does not radiate. Like he asked in the practice session, if you add Asura, A in front of Sura, it negates what Sura means. Asura. Then Kriti. Kriti is a beautiful word. Kriti. Tyagaraja Kriti. Muttuswami Dikshitar Kriti. Annamaya Kriti. You heard this word? Kriti. Tyagaraja Kriti. You don't say composition of Tyagaraja. It's a very wrong way to, in English, there is probably no equivalent word to Kriti. Tyagaraja Kriti means, I don't even know. I can't look for an English word that is very apt to that. Composition is not correct. Because composition means that you sat down, you looked for words, and you tried to compose. You put some words, and you spitted it out, and then you look for whether the rhymes match, whether this match, chandas matches, that matches, this matches, all of that stuff. That is what poets do. Tyagaraja is not a poet. Potana is not a poet. Through them, the divinity expressed itself. Tyagaraja did not sit down and today let me write down. Yandaro Makanu Bhavulu. He did not sit down and write that. He sat there and in that court, he looked at all these people and then he said to all these great beings, I am offering this. And then immediately this thing, the divine expressed through him and came out as a kriti. Expression of the divinity or manifestation of the divinity without any human effort. If that happens, it is called kriti. Are. Hemendra time? 8:08. Ashtami, 8:08. We finished. Okay. Kritihi iti ekadasha. Kritihi iti ekadasha Gandharva Ganaha. Now, maybe we'll just finish the meaning of the next two and then we'll go into the deeper aspect of it in the next class. Devaha cha Mahadevaha Rashmayaha cha Deva Garagiraha. Dev, you can show the words now. Deva cha Mahadevaha. Deva, Divi means effulgent. Mahadeva means supremely effulgent. Mahadeva, great, superior effulgence. Devacha, Mahadeva. Rashmayaha, Rashmi. Rashmi means also radiance. Rashmayaha cha, also radiant. Giraha, Garaha. Gira, Gara. Where did you learn the meaning of the word Giri?
Rudram.
Rudram. Baji, నువ్వు ఇంకా ఏం పని చేయట్లేదా? ఇదే పనే? You are fully into this, huh? You are not doing anything else. only studying Rudram and so blessed, turned into a Gopika. Everything she's like on the fingertips now. What is the meaning of the word Giri? Now that you said it.
End of the knowledge.
End of knowledge. Wow. End of knowledge. Giri does not mean mountain. Giri means end of knowledge, which is love or wisdom. And that wisdom, Girija, means that which is born out of that wisdom and awareness. She is called Girija, not just born to a mountain. Symbolic. The word Girija will become so profound when you understand that it is when it takes birth in that wisdom, that which is born in the wisdom is Girija, that which is born in awareness. Gara means actually sound. Gara, gira. Gira means sound. Gara means that which is not sound. Gira means that which helps. Gara means that which hurts. Gara, giraha. Then what happens? Once you understand this, na enam garaha hinasti. The one enam, that one who understands this, those enam, those understands the above, evam veda, na hinasti, will not be harmed by garaha, by the poison. It is a lot to unpack here, these last few lines. Like Vijudvadhamevaham Murtyavaichamiti, there is a lot to unpack here. The one who understands this evam veda or realizes this will not be harmed by garaha, by poison. Okay. We'll get into the meaning of this tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow there is a class. Okay. The next week, again, I will be a broken record in requesting you, begging you, urging you. 18th is when the quiz will close. There are hardly 20 people that have done the quiz. In 2 days, the quiz will close. Yeah, do whatever you want. I won't tell anything more than that. Right. Okay. Then next week, 23rd. 23rd, there is. What is happening on 23rd?
PM Parayanam.
PM.
Yeah. What do you have to do?
Come together, chant, or if like me, chant alone with y'all.
If you are joining regularly, you are given permission to chant 15 shlokas as individual. If you are chanting as more than 4, then you are given permission to chant a chapter. Individually, you can chant 15 shlokas, sign up. But that doesn't mean, hey, I have people nearby, I don't want to come together, I'll sit in front of my computer and I'll chant 15 shlokas and I'll be done with it. That's not what I'm saying. Please make an effort, put an effort to come together at least as 4 or 5 people. Like Murtigaru is there in some abandoned place in Northeast. I don't even know what it is called. Some junction he is there.
Hopewell.
And they, huh?
Hopewell.
Hopewell Junction. So how did I remember that anyway? So he can find 3 or 4 people around him. I am sure there are 3 or 4 people around him. I can even tell the names of who are around him within a few mile radius. At least Girija and Murtigaru should put an effort to find those 4 people. Hey, you know Devi Matyam, let's come together, offer 15, 20 slokas together. That is the effort each of you have to put. Then only expansion happens. If you sit in your cocoon and your own well, you will never expand. And when you see a good movie, after all, you call 5 people and say, hey, this movie just got released. Movie kaldama, movie kaldama, movie kaldama. And you say, let's go to the movie. Let's go watch it together. How you call people to go for going to a mundane movie? Why you can't say this is this beautiful movie called Devi Matyam? This movie will release you. That movie got released. This movie will release us, all of us. Let's come together and chant. Do this as sadhana. This is the only reason why this mind and intellect exist. They don't have any other function, which is to help you expand beyond your own. That is what is called ultimate strike. And that happens, that when that happens, Shaktipatam has happened. It is infinity. It is unbound. It is not related to this body. In fact, this beautiful video that was released for Krishna Janmashtami by Satyasai Media Center, I really loved the way that one line that was said in that beautiful video that I shared with all of you. The only thing that existed between Radha and Krishna was the boundary of her own body and mind. That was the only hindrance for her to merge in Krishna. కేవలం భోజనం మీద ధ్యాస కాకుండా భజన మీద పెట్టండి. భోజనం మీద ధ్యాస కాదు, భజన మీద ధ్యాస పెట్టండి. Please focus on the bhajana. Bhajana doesn't mean singing a song. Bha means light. Jana means people. Bhajana means a whole group of people that are in light. That is bhajana. And when you sing a bhajana, it is not you singing the bhajana. By singing that bhajana, it should enlighten that whole place. It should bring people, they all should feel the way that is being sung. They all will lose their consciousness and sing together. That is the kind of the bhajana you should offer. Not a bhajana that you feel you should offer. That doesn't matter at all. You as an existence is in, it is what we call as, it is, it doesn't matter. It is inconsequential. Therefore, Swami has told the students, no individual singing. Always you go see in Puttaparthi, 2 students come together and sing. They don't sing individually. Why? Because to sing together, you will require more attention and practice. They all go sit in the mandir, they practice, they look at their scales. Oh my God, these Sai centers, everybody want to come and release bhajans. They don't want to practice. This is sadhana, my dear friends. Chanting together is a sadhana. Singing together is a sadhana. Working together is a sadhana. Being together is sadhana. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryankara. Not simply saying this, living this. Bring people together, motivate them together. Bring them all to Puttaparthi. There is no other place that is more divine than that. Lose all this nonsense that are associated with anything else. Somebody asked me some program, sir, Lakshachana, why we have to conduct only in Puttaparthi? Why not any other place? So very simple. Yes, Venkateshwara is present, Vishnu is present everywhere. Why do you go to only Tirupati? Bhagavan is present everywhere. 100% his divinity is present completely in Puttaparthi and in Prashantanilayam. Everything else doesn't matter. When you are ultimately realized, then that is a different thing. But now we are all in this relative existence. The only sadhana we have to do is come together and offer. Jai Sai Ram. 20 minutes. So 20 minutes more. Okay. Yadakshara pada bhrashtam. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु. Okay, Sairam, last week we didn't take any questions. There are a few questions that were posted to me on Okay, yes. What is the first question? Hey, Chandrasekhara, what is the first question? You
Sorry.
pull it up. I'm not able to find. Yeah.
Yeah, the first question is about the male and the female forms of Vayu, because that context was not given for Agni, so I was trying to connect to the significance of the male and the female forms.
Okay. Yeah. So, in the context of Vayu, that which is moving, it has the Shakti in the context of the Shakti and the subtle and the causal both are present in there. Whereas in the context of Agni, it is only one, and that causes the illumination. That is the simplest explanation of it. There is a force associated with it, and that force or power is what is related to a Shakti. Therefore, the Vayu has the duality aspect. Okay. Next one. What's the next question?
So this is about that the Parashara story has to why Vasishta asked Parashara to leave a bit of those negative forces and not annihilate them completely.
This is a beautiful question for those of you who have not attended or seen the YouTube video or have not gotten the time to see the YouTube video from last class. This Parashara is the father of Krishna Dvaipayana, who is one of the Vyasas. And this Parashara's father, Shakti, was consumed by Kalmashapada, a king who was possessed by a Brahma Rakshasa. And when his father Shakti was killed by this Kalmashapada, there is a beautiful story behind all of this, all incredibly symbolic. Where is that Sharmagaru was there last week? He mentioned the word Kalmashapada and then he disappeared. He was talking about this Kalmashapada was actually originally a king in Ichwaku dynasty. And as a king in Ichwaku dynasty, Ichwaku is the same dynasty as Sri Rama. So this king Mitrasaha, or he is also called as Saudasa. I don't know if you have all time for this mythology, but it's Purana. But I need to tell the story so that you will connect to the context of the question. This Saudasa or Mitrasaha was going in the forest, and there was a single lane road. And in this single lane road was also coming Shakti, this Rishi, who is the son of Vasishta. And when Shakti was coming and they meet, this king and this Shakti, they meet. And then there was an argument between them. The Shakti is saying, hey, I am a rishi, you are the king, you should give way to me so that I will go. And then the king is saying, no, no, I am the king of the whole kingdom. You are simply a Brahmin. You can give me the way. And so there was an argument. At the end of it, at the end of it, what happened? This king threatens to kill him. And when he was in that rage of threatening, a Brahma Rakshasa takes over him. A Brahma Rakshasa, this is very important spiritually. Very important spiritually. When you are in this rage of anger, this kind of a thing, your mind becomes susceptible to be taken over by negative energies. And then you will forget completely who you are. And you say things, you do things like a Brahma Rakshasa. Because you are possessed by this negative energy. So at that point of time, this king was possessed by a Brahma Rakshasa. And then he goes and he kills Shakti and he consumes him. This will become relevant to the question later. And then Parashara comes to know that his father was killed by this. By this Kalmashapada. And he does a yagna. And in that yagna, he wants to completely eliminate all these Brahma Rakshasas who were responsible for his father's death. So when this yagna is happening, these Brahma Rakshasas are coming and falling into this pat. I was doing myself, and a couple of years ago, we were doing this Homa in Pashupata Homa in Texas, in Austin. My God, that Pashupata Homa, there were sounds like a pat, constantly coming on. And then the host was asking, sir, what is happening? Is this bad wood or anything like that? It's not bad wood, Ra. You are in Austin, Texas, surrounded by Brahma Rakshasas. Anyway, and all the Brahma Rakshasas were getting annihilated. Vasishta comes and stops Parashara. He says, stop here. Please don't continue the yajna. This brother is asking the question, why did he stop him? Why did he stop him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, even in center also, you cannot stop people who create problems. You have no right to do that. Because they are possessed by some Brahma Rakshasas at some point. So it gives you an opportunity for your own spiritual progress, how to deal with those things. It is not the problem with that individual. You understand? It was not the problem of the king. The king was possessed by a Brahma Rakshasa. So what you have to do is you have to do the yajna to eliminate the Brahma Rakshasa in that individual. But if you completely eliminated all negativity, you don't have opportunity to do sadhana, no? Huh? The world has to run. For the world to run continuously, you also need ignorance. The world cannot run without ignorance, because the whole creation is happening out of this thing called ignorance. The coming and going, all these things are completely related to ignorance. And negativity is required. But if that negativity grows too high and it overwhelms the positivity, that's when God comes to reduce the negativity, not eliminate it, to reduce the negativity so that the positivity will grow. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He didn't say adharma nirmulanardhaya. He said dharma samsthapanardhaya. God did not say adharma nirmulanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He said dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Swami gives a very beautiful example of this, where Swami says, if a crop is taken over by weeds, the farmer will go remove the weeds so that the crop will grow. But the farmer can never remove the weeds totally from the field. He cannot. Why? Because it is natural for the earth to give birth to both a weed seed and also a good seed. You cannot. This is amazing. One time, I asked the question, Swami, I'm saying samasta loka sukhinovam, samasta loka sukhinovam. That means all the adharma has to be eliminated. No, he said, no, no, no. You should eliminate the adharma within you, not eliminate adharma outside. You transform yourself. So, brothers and sisters, it's a very spiritually loaded thing, because, and there is a even more beautiful subtlety to that story, where this Brahma Rakshasa possessing Kalmashapada happens because of the intervening of another sage called Vasishtha, who invokes this Brahma Rakshasa to go and possess that king at that time. There is a twist to this story. So at the end of the day, what you have to eliminate, to the extent possible, so that it doesn't interfere with your sadhana and dharma. That is what has to be done. Because these Brahma Rakshasas, how did they get the birth of a Brahma Rakshasa? Because of their karma. And if you eliminate all of them, what will happen to all that karmic baggage that is accumulated in the universe? So they got that Brahma Rakshasa birth because of a consequence of their own actions. That has to be worked out. That means you are interfering with the law of the nature. Even a great Rishi has no right to interfere with the law of the nature. That was a beautiful teaching given to Vasishtha. And then at that point of time, Parashara gets transformation. And then he goes into this deep penance of self-realization. And then the rest of this is his story. Jai Sai Ram. I hope that helped.
Yes. So, thank you.
That is why everything has to be dealt with love and love only, but love to a point that it does not interfere with what is being done. If it fundamentally interferes with what is happening, then you have to take a different action. Until then, love has to play out. Yes, Sairam. Next question. Was that it?
Three more are there, at least from my end. The third one is
Okay.
on the 8 snakes that you said you will describe later, but I was trying to connect that with that homakaryam. The lower step is that
Yes.
8.
Yes.
That
Yes. Beautiful connection again. Yes. I have to tell you, this satsang is becoming very profound. I think after a few classes, I'll stop talking and you all can take the classes. Satsang is so profound. That is what is showing that people are paying more deeper attention to what is being studied, not just come to the class to learn a mantra. So, what are the 8 snakes in what he's referring to is when we do the yagna homa. You may have noticed, or you may have noticed, there are 3 steps to the homakunda during the yajna. And the 3 steps of the homakunda we put, there are avahita devatas. There are divine forces invoked that protect that homakunda. And there is the first level, there is the second level, there is the third level. There are deities existing at the first level, second level, and the third level. At the very bottom, that's the reason when we do this yajna, I instruct people explicitly not to touch the Homakunda with their feet. You should be sitting at least a foot away from the Homakunda. And your feet or knees should not touch. And these priests, they also put their Panchapatra, Uddharina, all that stuff on those. That is absolutely disrespectful to the Devatas. You should not do that as well. And therefore, one has to be very cautious that there is this Homakunda that is taken over by 8 times 3 levels of Devatas. And the names of the 8 Agnis that we just learnt in Aruna Prashna. Agnaye Namaha, Jatavedase Namaha, Sahojase Namaha, Ajira Prabhave Namaha, Vaishwanaraya Namaha, Naryapase Namaha, Panktiradhase Namaha, Visarpine Namaha, Madhye Agnaye Agni Purushaya Namaha. That center one is Agni Purusha, who is the Agni referred to as the divine consciousness. And in the middle level, there are Dikpalakas. Indraya Namaha, Agnaye Namaha, southwest. Dikpalakas means every direction. East is Indra, southwest Agni, south is Yama, southwest is Nirriti, west is Varuna, then there is northwest Vayu, then there is north Kubera, then there is northeast Ishana. And then you put flowers and you put akshatas around worshipping them. Then in the bottom level, there are these 8 Nagas that protect. Anantaya Namaha, Vasukine Namaha, Takshakaya Namaha, Karkotakaya Namaha, Shankhapalaya Namaha, Gulikaya Namaha, Padmaya Namaha, Mahapadmaya Namaha. These are the 8 Nagas. And then this is Dakshinato Brahmane Namaha, Uttarato Vishnave Namaha, Shruve Shaktaye Namaha, Shuche Shambhave Namaha. You see what an incredible spiritual process that is being offered there. In the south, there is Brahma, and in the north, there is Vishnu. And in the Sruk and Sruva, there is Shakti and Shambhu. That is what brother is referring to. Cosmos is what is used to worship the cosmos. Jai Sai Ram. What is Shyam? Your questions are covered. You have to go to Tabla festival now.
No, I was wondering about the lightning. Lightning was brought up in 2 contexts. In one as being able to give as the Shakti part, Pata, Shakti Pata, and then the second one was that it can harm you. So I was a bit confused. First he said, I don't want it to harm you, the lightning to harm, and then he said, okay, but if I want to die, I want the lightning to.
No, where did he say I don't want it to harm? What mantra are you talking about?
He said, if you know it, then it won't harm you. Lightning won't harm you.
Yeah, if you know it, you won't. He didn't say,
if you
don't know, it will harm you. If you don't know, it will harm you.
So how can it harm you? How will it harm and how would it? It's looked at
30,000 degrees Celsius. What remains?
Yeah, nothing.
How can it harm you? How can it harms you if you don't know it? It doesn't harm you if you know it. What does it? You have to understand there is that if you still have this thing called identification with your body, identification with your mind, it will harm you because you will feel harmed. You will feel the pain. The moment you know that I am not the body, I am not the mind, it will not harm you. I'll tell you a beautiful practical example that happened with not only Bhagavan Ramana, but also with several Swamijis. in Ramakrishna Mutt order. I have heard this directly from Sir Ramakrishna Mutt order. Bhagavan Ramana had this incredible cancer, no? And they had to come. They said, the doctor came and said, I have to do surgery and I have to give anesthesia to you. And then Bhagavan Ramana said, what does that anesthesia do? And then this gentleman, the doctor said, oh, it will make sure that you will not be affected by the pain while I am doing this surgery. Oh, is that right? Okay. You tell me a minute before you do the surgery. No need to do this anesthesia. And then he said, are you sure? He said, I'm 100% sure. Bhagavan said, go ahead, do the surgery. No anesthesia. No anesthesia. So what happened at that point of time? That surgery did not harm him. Why it did not harm him? That means what? Harm means what? Suffer. He did not suffer because of the surgery. Why did he not suffer because of the pain? Because at that point he shut out completely that I am the body. He had pain, but he didn't suffer. Yeah. Are you connecting to that? So
Yes.
for the one, for the one who is fearless, that he doesn't have fear of this body, natva kamagum hanti, tu akamagam nahanti. He will not be harmed because of the fear. So what is harming you? What is making you suffer? It is the fear. It is the fear that makes you suffer. When you get over that fear, if you don't have the fear, you won't suffer. This is very deep. Huh? This is very deep. The deep law, it's very deep law.
And okay, another thing, kamam, is it fear, and could it also be?
Yeah. It is interpreted in context. Kamam means desire. Kamam is a desire that causes fear too. So it can also be interpreted as fear. See, this Veda, the meaning of the words in Vedas have to be understood in context. They are not, you should not go by Sanskrit English dictionary. Okay. That takes you to some level, but it doesn't give, like Nagaharam. See, Nagaharam. Somebody wrote Nagaharam means snake necklace in some translation of Devi Mahatyam. That's not what it means. Naga also means humongous, huge. Nagaharam means huge haram. So elephantry is described in the word Naga in Devi Mahatyam. So that is what I wanted to say. Anyway, okay. Any other questions?
Sai Ramanna, in the message that you have sent this morning, you did mention Indira and Adya. So are those two devatas that were born on the same day, Anna, like Nanda Devi? Like
There is only one. She is also called Indira, Kamala. In that mantras it will come, no? In the Devi Mahatyam mantras it will come later on. Indira, Kamala, all those names will come.
But are they also
Adya,
born today, Anna?
Adya means Adi Shakti, that which existed primordially. That Adi Shakti is the one that is coming as the child for Yashoda, and she is called Nandaja, Indira, Lakshmi, Kamala, all those names. So today is not just the birthday of just Krishna, it's also the birthday of the Adi Shakti Yogamaya, who is referred to as Indira. Indira means what? Ra means light, Indu means moon, that which shines as the light through the moon. Therefore, she is Indira means beautiful, delightful moonlight. That's what it means, Indira. That name got butchered by Indira Gandhi. Okay, next.
Sai Ramanna, there's two more from my end, but So I was trying to connect with this thunderbolts, right? With what happened in Memphis, Satirudram. So I was just wondering, like, what kind of a thunderbolt it is in this 11.
It's definitely, so when you perceive a thunderbolt, what they do in order to protect the houses, churches, and all these buildings from thunderbolts, do you know what they do?
Yeah, they'll put a
Any
lightning this thing,
ah, ah,
arrestor, it's called.
yeah. What is called arrestor, yeah. What does it do?
It will nullify the effects of.
It grounds the electrical energy and it grounds it and doesn't get it affect the building, right? Yeah. So several years ago, when I was part of another Sai center, there used to be a lot of negative energy created by folks, which is common in all Sai centers. Somehow they want to create disruption. And I was taking it personally and getting affected by it. This is, I'm talking 2005, 2006. Especially primarily around this thing called Veda chanting. They wanted to prohibit Veda chanting in Sai centers. And I was conflicted and confused because Bhagavan is saying something, the organization is something else. It was creating a lot of churning inside. Swami came in the dream once and he said, this is all lightning. And you need to ground this electricity. Every day when you come back from the center, put your head on my feet and I will suck out the entire negative energy. So you are protected to do my work and all the electricity current is taken by me. So every time you touch Swami's feet, you say, Swami, please be this rod that takes away all this negative energy. I just want to only do your work. And when you do his work, you have to be firm. You have to do your dharma. You cannot run away from it. Yes, there will be so many conflicting forces. You are a devotional coordinator, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Devotional coordinator is especially hit by lightning rods all the time because of this thing called bhajan singing by people. They'll come and hit you with all kinds of, I want to sing only this bhajan, this. Have you faced this in your center?
Yes.
Okay. How do you deal with it?
I asked them to practice some more time and more practice is needed. I would just politely say that this might be a little difficult for you. Especially, I look at it more from not just the individual singing. It's even the people to follow. They also have to be comfortable with a bhajan, which is also the reason I say pick some simple 4-line Namavali bhajans instead of complex ones.
And supposing they don't listen, what do you do?
Yeah, that bhajan will not be part of the the on that day, but yeah, they may feel offended, but that's the way how.
They feel offended and they threaten you. What do you do?
I will, at the end of the day, I'll say Om Saishwararpanamastu. That's it.
That is exactly what is called lightning and negative energy, and how you have to deal with it as a devotional coordinator. What I used to do is, Swami not only used to take away this negative energy, I will chant if I'm affected by it. Nowadays, I don't get affected by all of this stuff. If I'm affected by it, means I still have this churning going on. I'll sit, I will do 108 Gayatri. I will put that person in front of my eyes. And then I will only chant Gayatri. Please enlighten their mind, O Swami. Please give them light so that the Brahma Rakshasa leaves them. They're not bad individuals. They're wonderful people. They want to do this because of their love for Swami. There is nothing more than that. Their love for Swami is so intense that they want to do that for Swami. And I respect that. I have so much of admiration for that. Because not many people have that kind of love for Swami, that they want to come to center all the time, that they want to sing a bhajan for Swami, etc. But in doing that dharma of yours as a devotional coordinator, you have to only put Swami, 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 Swami. That this is a naivedyam for Swami. This is an offering to Swami. Swami will appreciate only if the devotees that are present there can also follow the bhajan. That's exactly what you say. It's not an individual offering. Bhajan is not an individual offering. Bhajan is a collective offering. So when these lightning rods are striking, the first thing you have to do is first go hold Swami's feet. Put your head on Swami's feet. Relieve me from this energy. And he will relieve that energy. Then you will not be affected by thundering bolt. Because our mind is incapable of handling that. Only he can take that energy away. This whole thunderbolt story is a this whole thunderbolt thing is an incredible phenomenal practical spiritual phenomenon. Okay, Sairam. We are good. I think we took a lot of time today, almost 2 hours.
No, you said you will talk about what Swami said about Radha later.
What Swami said about Radha. Did you watch the video, da?
No.
No, I posted the video that Satsai Media Center released about Radha and Pata Paduma Krishna. It's a very beautiful video where Swami talks about who Radha is. And this is a very, very, Radha is a very powerful name. It's the essence of all the mantras. It's the essence of all the mantras. How Radha is this? Because it's a Krishnashtami and brother is asking this question. So how it is essence of all the mantras and what is fundamentally Radha? Who is not who is, but what is Radha? Yes. So are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See if I type. R Swami did this. RADHA. Right? Let me increase the font. Right. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Radha. Now you move. I asked people to do this homework the other day. What is that?
Yeah.
Aadhar. What is that?
Dara.
Dhara. Hopefully people that are watching this video later will also connect to it. Then move the D. See what I'm doing? Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm moving each letter to its end. Yeah. Now I move the H to the end. What is that?
Arad.
Arad. This
Arad.
A is a Dirgam.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is English, no? That's the problem. Then you move the A to the end.
Radha again.
Huh?
Radha again. Yeah.
What is this now?
Radha.
Radha, Adhar, Dhara, Harad, Arad, Radha. This is the incredible inner meaning of who Radha is. Expressed in English, but there are meanings in Sanskritam also, which I won't go into today. Maybe some other time. Radhashtami will come in Bhadrapada Masam. Oh, Radhashtami is on a Sunday. Remind me on the Sunday. Radhashtami will be coming on the Sunday, September 7th. September 7th is Radhashtami. So remind me on Radhashtami class what is the actual meaning of Radha. But this is what Swami told. Radha, Adhar means a source. Dhara means a flow. Maybe I should put here in English. Adhar means a base, basis. Dhara means a flow. Harad means a heart. Arad means worship. Radha is the outcome. Radha is the कृष्णा का आधार धारा. ए हृदय में आराध होता है तो राधा हो जाएगा. That I have to express in Hindi only. Radha is the flow of Krishna, is the source of flow of Krishna consciousness, and when expressed from the heart, it becomes the worship called Radha. That is what is Radha. Okay, enough for today. PhDs, permanent head damage. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam. Okay, Shama, Swasti. Om.
ॐ स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai.
Jai.